Yo, what is going up, guys? What is going up? What is going on, guys? Obviously, it's been a little bit since I made a video because I can't even do an intro. But what's up? Welcome back to another episode on my channel. Yeah, like I said, it's been 3 or 4 weeks. The last time you saw my Jeep, it was over at Cody's house, and it's, I don't know, kind of nice to be back home working on it. It's convenient for me to walk out of my kitchen door right into my garage and see it. So the motivation's there, the parts aren't. And I think that's why I'm slow to make videos. But regardless, I have some stuff I can get done today on the Jeep. And like I said in the last video, I think we're gonna be spraying some bed liner today. That is pretty much gonna get us one step closer to getting the roll cage put back in the Jeep, which I should probably elaborate on that. Last time you saw the cage, we just finished basically getting it tacked up and fitted in the Jeep. Brought it home, me and Alex ripped it out, and I finished welding it, primed it, painted it, and for the most part, it's ready to go back in. I think I'm still gonna do one more coat of paint on it just to make it nice and smooth, and I don't know. More paint, the better in my theory. There is a fly on my wall I can't stop staring at. Hold on. Dead. Okay, fix that. And before we jump into today's upload though, I just want to give a huge thank you to all of you subscribers, the people that do subscribe to my channel and watch all my videos. Thank you. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, and means a lot. It's pretty cool that you guys, find my content interesting. Definitely going to be continuing to make more content and progressing as we go. Yeah, so basically with, the growing subscribers of the channel, I think I want to do a little bit more stuff in the garage, not necessarily all rock crawler Jeep content. I've always wanted to build an old truck. I want to build a car. Pretty much anything with wheels and tires I like to work on. So moving forward in the future, expect to see some new cool things on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. If this is your first video, hi, my name is Sam. Let's dive right into today's upload. Thanks to the new subscribers, let's go. First things first, before we really get carried away and diving into today's video, let's talk bed liner real quick and what I'm gonna be using. I am going to be spraying Raptor Liner. Comes with a spray gun. It is an advanced 2-part urethane formula. That means nothing to me because I don't know anything about paint, but Cody sprayed it one time and put it on the inside of his Jeep and it seemed to work out just fine. So that's what we're going with it. The whole purpose behind it is, well, you guys aren't dumb. You've seen a spray on bed liner in the bed of a truck. We're putting that on the floor. It's gonna be a protective coating for the floor. It'll help prevent rust. It should seal up a bunch of, any little gaps. Plus, it'll give us some decent traction since we're not running carpet anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and gut the inside of the Jeep. I gotta get the center console, the doors off, some of the wiring tucked up out of the way, and we can start prepping this thing so we can spray. So you guys hang out, I'm gonna do that. And she's gutted. Went ahead and got everything tucked away like I said I was gonna do. And I made a nice discovery on my Jeep while I was doing that. Let me show you. So someone has obviously been in here before. It looks like this wire runs up to the key switch. So I'm assuming they were trying to add accessories to the 12-volt ignition source. The Jeep didn't have any problems prior, so it's not the end of the world. I'm probably gonna go ahead and take that all apart, solder it back together, and make it a little bit more factory. But yeah, that's a bunch of butt connectors, and I was surprised when I found that. So one quick little thing, I need to go ahead and open up these torque box holes so I can bolt my roll cage back into the body. I welded in new torque boxes, and when I did afterwards, I noticed that those don't line up perfect. So with a burr bit, I can open these up just a little bit more so I can finally bolt my roll cage back into the Jeep once this is done. So I'm gonna go ahead, start sanding, prepping, taping, and masking. And here in a little bit, we'll be spraying. legit hour and a half of taping and masking. I think I'm finally ready to spray. So what I did, anywhere there's a hole in the body that still had threads that I want to use, I took some ear protection that you shove in your ear, twist it up and jam it in there. That way, none of the bed liner gets down in onto the threads, so I don't have to chase them later. So that's all masked up, taped off. I think it's time to start spraying. Rawr. Well, inside this box from Raptor Liner, we have 4 bottles of Raptor Liner. We have some hardener, a mixer to measure with, 2 nozzles, a gun that you're going to have to provide your own fittings for to hook up. And the instructions say, fill, shake, shoot. 8 fluid ounce of hardener, mix it into the container, shake for 2 minutes, and then spray. So let's go ahead and put the Raptor Liner on the floor. Alrighty, just got the first coat on there. So far, project seems to be going pretty smooth. It's about what I expected. You're just spraying and spraying, but to position that gun in a good spot to get in those tight areas, it's kind of annoying. But first coat's on. We need to let it flash dry for about an hour, and then we can move on to the second coat. Now, it's not a super warm day, so it may take just a little bit longer, but I'm gonna go hang out with the wife for a little bit, probably take the dog on a walk, we'll come back, and then we'll go ahead and put the second coat on. And yeah, so check back with you in an hour. Okay, just got back out here, and it's been about an hour. The floor flash dried as best as I could. It's only like 38 or 40 degrees outside, so we're fighting Mother Nature. But I think it's good enough that I can go ahead and put a second coat on. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up and get to spraying, get the heater turned on in a little bit, and hopefully this all starts to dry up. There it is, second coat sprayed. Everything looks nice, uniform, even, level. I'm happy with it. I was gonna do that third coat, but truthfully, I just don't think I need to do it. Every little nook and cranny I could find, I went ahead and sprayed. Now this has to cure, I don't know, at least like 3 days before I can really throw the roll cage back in there. But by tomorrow, it should be, you know, dry to the touch, at least if I get some heat going in here. So I'm gonna unmask it. This is gonna cure overnight, and I'll see you guys right now. So, dudes, we're back. 24 hours has gone by, and the bed liner looks sweet. It has had time to cure. So let me show you what that looks like before we jump into said transfer case part of the video. Everything is good and dry. It's dry enough to touch, but I'm sure it has not actually cured yet. So I'm gonna wait about a week or so before I go ahead and toss the cage back into it, because I'm sure once that cage, you know, drags its way down in there, it's just gonna pull everything with it. And she's a tight fit. And let me tell you a little story real quick. You see that section and that section, how there's no bed liner on it? Your boy messed up. That's my door latch. Whenever I was building the cage, I didn't quite factor in how I was gonna get the cage up out. Needless to say, it didn't fit. So I had to cut those off just so I could slide the cage up out of there, so I could get the cage out, obviously, to weld the bottoms and everything. But yeah, so now once the cage is back in the Jeep for good, I got to put those back on, clean it up, weld it, adjust the latches, and pray that my doors close. So that's the bed liner. Super happy with it. Now let's jump into the more exciting part of this video, the transfer case. All right, let me go ahead and tell you about my little buddy here. This is a 4-to-1 Rubicon transfer case out of a 2007 or 8 Jeep Wrangler. Now, what you're thinking is, why are you not running Atlas? Well, let me tell you really quick. I called a junkyard, and I was originally looking for JK Rubicon axles to put under old Project Snowball over here. The reason we call it that is because obviously the project has snowballed from what it was supposed to be. But yeah, long story short, went to buy axles. They were bent. He had a transfer case underneath it. I said, what do you want for it? He said, all of our transfer cases are 200 or 250 bucks, whatever it was. I said, I'll take it. So yeah, I scored a $1,200 to $1,500 transfer case for 200, I think is what I paid for it. So that's the reason I'm running it. It's the good ratio. It's a 4-to-1. It was cheap, and eventually we can upgrade to an Atlas if we need to. Now, I'm running an LS and a Turbo 400 that has been adapted to a 23 spline to accept this transfer case. And the difference between this and an Atlas, at least we'll just say the biggest difference, is obviously this is going to be a chain-driven case where the Atlas is a gear-driven. With the chains, they get slop and they wear over time, and they actually can skip teeth. And if you ever watch a bunch of wheeling videos with guys with Ruby cases, you'll hear them in there clicking. And I can't do that. So cheap insurance tells me to go ahead and throw a new chain in this before we stab it back in the crawler. So that's what we're working on today. I'm gonna throw you on time lapse. I've never tore apart a 4-to-1. I can't imagine it's hard, but we're gonna start with ripping this yoke off. I don't know if this cap needs to come off yet or not, but I know all of these bolts definitely do. So I'm just gonna start tearing it apart and I'll figure it out as I go. Okay, transfer case is now split, and truthfully, about as easy as it gets. I did not have to take that other bearing cover off. It was literally just this yoke nut, 1.25" socket, and tapped him off with a hammer, and then all of these bolts the whole way around. All of them are 10, and one right there is a 13 mil. So that was simple. Now the chain, you hear some people, they'll take that cover off and they'll be like, wow, there's a bunch of slack in here. Well, that cover's job actually is to keep tension on this over this way and this one that way. So not a really good indication of how much play this actually has. Physically, it doesn't look shot, but we have it apart. I have the parts, so I'm gonna replace it. The only thing I don't have is this snap ring puller here at my house. It's at work. So it is about 8 o'clock at night. I'm gonna run to work really quick because I wanna get this video done for you guys. Gonna grab that tool, bust this off, and hopefully slap a new chain on, seal it up, and we'll wrap up this video. So you guys hang out here. I'm gonna drive to work, get the tool, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, I'm back. Got my snap ring pliers. They're not traditional snap rings. They're more of a C-clip, but the way these work is, it has this flat end on it, goes in between, and it pushes out on that C-clip. So I'm gonna put you guys back on the time lapse, pop that C-clip off, and hopefully I can slide. Well, it looks like I have one on the other side. Either way, the gear's gotta move so I can get the chain off. So back on the time lapse, you go. There you have it, brand new chain tossed on. Nothing fancy about this job. Pretty much you just have this C-clip here and you have one on this side. What I learned was after I took this off, actually you don't have to do it. So if you just put a little bit of upward pressure on this gear, once this one's off, this gear actually has just enough room to slide up off those splines so you can get the chain off. The only fancy tool you really need to do this job besides a hammer, a pry bar, is going to be these snap ring pliers or C-clip pliers. These are made by Mako. P20B is the part number if you want to get a set. But yeah, happy with this is all back together. Has about the same play as the old one did. Gonna go ahead, get this all cleaned back up and slap back together. All right, guys, this is all slapped back together. The seal is drying, and that's one more victory checked off the checklist. Two down, bed liner, transfer case, 2 down, 69 to go. So short video, it was fun to make. Hope you guys enjoyed it. 1,000 subscribers, yes, that's awesome. I'm gonna try my best to make more content for you guys, kind of as a way of returning the favor. You guys drop more subs, I drop more videos, if you see what I'm saying. So more videos coming soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram @hunkofjunk. It's time for bed, I'm tired. We'll see you guys soon. Later.